A little cold out. Got a little bit of a fall vibe going. Hey everybody, what's going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another episode of Bargain Bin Fishing Lures. A couple of weeks ago I made a video where I went out to a bargain bin, bought some fishing lures, brought them back, unboxed them and tested them, and you guys really seemed to like that video, so we are back with another installment. This time I went to Walmart, and let me tell you, it was a blessing. There was tons of bargain bins and boxes scattered all over the place. So without further ado, we'll dive into what I bought, and then later we'll take it out and see if we can't catch some fish. Let's do it. The first thing they had in the bargain bin was the Super Toad by Strike King. This is a topwater frog style buzzbait thing. It's made from soft plastic, and it's basically made to be fished on the surface of the water. As you can see right there, there is the frog. It looks pretty standard for the style of frog. You have a basic kind of flat design, two legs that kick water in the back. You rig this with a Texas rig and you fish it on the surface of the water, kind of like a buzzbait. One thing that Strike King has is this amazing coffee scent that smells so good. I don't know if it actually improves your fish catching, but it smells really good to an angler. This is in kind of a green pumpkin and chartreuse belly right there. Upon first impression, this bait looks very cool. Strike King usually makes really good products, so I'm eager to get this bait out and see what the action's like. Another bargain bin that I stumbled across had just a bunch of grubs, all different sizes and colors. And I like grubs. They're a very versatile bait. You can fish them pretty much anywhere. So I picked up a couple variations right here. I got some of these white ones. This is a standard white grub right here. Put it on a jig head. It'll catch pretty much anything that swims. Upon first impression, this tail seems very thin and limber. So I have a feeling these baits are going to have some good action in the water. And then I also got a kind of a translucent silver smoky gray type of color right there. This is a slightly bigger size. This is in kind of an amber with some green and black flake. This size is actually so big you could probably rig it on a traditional Texas rig setup. It's basically like a compact plastic worm. Very cool bait. I'm actually pretty happy with this purchase because plastic grubs are one bait that I like to have in my tackle box at all times. They are just so versatile. So this is really awesome. Glad I picked these up. Of course, there was a Rebel bargain bin, and if you don't know what Rebel is, they make budget-friendly crankbaits, and to my opinion, the crankbaits that they make are pretty good for the money. They may need a little bit of tuning out of the box, but they work really well. They have a good action, good colors, they catch fish. This is a Deep CBB. Right there, this is a Deep CBB, really weird name. I actually have another version of this. It's slightly bigger, but I bought the smaller version just because I think it'd be good for fishing, you know, small rivers and creeks. It's got a nice little lip on there. This thing will get down to a nice deep depth. I got this one right here, which is a smaller size than the one I actually have in my tackle box, and this is going to be great for fishing for trout, smallmouth bass, fishing small rivers and ponds. I grabbed another hard bait right here. This is by Cotton Cordell. Now, Cotton Cordell is the definition of budget fishing lures. It seems like every Walmart I walk into, they always have a bargain bin full of Cotton Cordell, so you can pick these up for a very affordable price. This is the Wee Shad by Cotton Cordell, and I'm eager to see what this bait looks like in the water. Cotton Cordell makes decent baits. I know their lipless crankbaits work pretty good. They are a little bit cheaper built than the Rebels. Right there, that is the Wee Shad. As you can see, that lip, whew, oh snap, did it just break? Something cracked. I'm not going to put too much pressure on that, but as you can see, it's a tiny little bait with a surprisingly deep lip. Usually a bait this size is going to have a fairly small lip. This has got a deep lip, so it's going to dive in the water. If this bait runs correctly, I could see it being a very effective bait for crappie, for smallmouth, fishing small ponds and rivers. So I'm eager to give this bait a try. I'm a little skeptical, but we'll have to see how it works. I grabbed another Rebel hard bait right here. This is a bait that I like to have in my tackle box, and when I saw it in the bargain bin, I just had to pick one of these up. This is a Topwater A. Topwater A. As you can see right there, this is a tiny little popper with a feathered trailer. Nice touch. I like having a feathered trailer on my poppers. This is a little bit more of a petite size right here. I find these work really well when I'm fishing skinny bodies of water. Like I said, creeks, small ponds, that kind of stuff where the fish may be a little bit more skittish. Throwing a small little bait like this can yield some great results. And I needed another one in my tackle box, so I picked this one up right here. And of course, if you've ever gone to Walmart, you have seen the Yum bargain bins. I don't know what it is about Walmart, but they usually have bins full of Yum baits. The Yum bargain bin has been a weakness for me down through the years. I have bought so much stuff out of Yum bargain bins. It's actually where I kind of developed the love for Yum lures, because they were so affordable and they were always in the bargain bin. That's the lures I pick up the most, and I grew to really love Yum baits and products. This video is not sponsored by Yum lures, but Yum, if you're watching this, you know, let's talk. The first thing I grabbed out of the bargain bin was these weird little thingies. They're like, they're just called grubs. They're just basic little grubs right here. As you can see, they're kind of a ribbed grub. They're kind of a ribbed grub with a pink tail. They got all these ribs in here that help move water. They got that signature Yum scent. This is actually the older scent. Recently, Yum came out with the F2 attractant. This is still the original Yum scent. Some people like the original better than the F2. That brings back a lot of memories. Wow. This was my childhood right here, Yum baits. So yeah, I grabbed this little grub right here. It's going to be useful for fishing all kinds of stuff. I like having a scented grub in certain scenarios when the fish are maybe a little more finicky, when you're fishing maybe more muddy water. Having a little bit of scent on your lure can make the difference. I was pawing around inside the bargain bin and I found one of my favorite lures of all time, the Yum Dinger. This bait is fantastic. My favorite Senko style bait of all time. This bait has caught me loads of bass. In my opinion, this is the best stick bait you can buy right here. Very, very limber plastic, as you can see. This is in, I don't even know what color this is in. Doesn't say. Does not say. It's kind of like a green with a little bit of a yellow swirl. I grabbed a couple other sizes of Yum Dingers here. I got the smaller sizes. I like throwing the smaller sizes too. I fish a lot of creeks and small ponds, and these work really well. You can also, no, I can't open the package now. What's going on here? Got it. What's cool about these is you can also nip them off and use them on a Ned rig, which is a great little rig. And I also picked up a smaller size with the chartreuse tail because I think that's pretty cool. Last but not least, I picked up a classic bait, the Yum Lizard. The Yum Lizard is, like I said, it's a classic lure. Now, to be honest, I've never really used a whole lot of Yum Lizards, but I decided to pick these up. These things are slimy, goodness sakes alive. I decided to pick some, sheesh, stop it, it's sliming around in my hand. A lot of scent on these things. I decided to pick up some of these Yum Lizards because they seem like decent little baits, and yeah, I've just never really fished with a whole lot of them, but when I saw these in the bargain bin, I thought, why not pick some of them up? They could come in handy. So yeah, I grabbed these right here. These are just a little green pumpkin Yum Lizard. Great scent on them, and I am looking forward to using them. So there you go, guys. That is all the stuff I bought from this bargain bin. I'm actually quite impressed with all of the baits I was able to find in these Walmart bargain bins. I found a lot of great stuff, and I did not spend a ton of money, and that is always a plus. Now, you guys may have noticed a lot of these baits that I bought are smaller baits, and that is because today I'm going to be fishing a creek. When I was originally planning this video, I decided I wanted to fish somewhere different instead of just the pond. So we're going to be fishing a different stretch of creek that I've never fished before. I fished this creek in different areas, but not this particular stretch, and that's why I bought stuff that's more geared toward creek fishing. With that being said, let's grab our gear, let's head out to the creek, and let's see if these baits work and see if we can't catch any fish. Let's go. Alrighty, guys, this is the creek I'm going to be fishing today. I've never really fished this section of creek before, so I am just kind of walking along, seeing if I can find any deep pools, seeing if I can see any fish. It's looking pretty shallow in here. There we go, got him. That's a largemouth right there. All right, first largemouth of the day on, oh, chill out, brother, on the little grub right there. Nice. Finally got into some largemouth water. See you, buddy. All right, I'm gonna try into this bridge right here. I can see somewhat of a pool, and there might be something hanging out. It's a frog. Am I gonna have to get wet? That's the question. Looks like I'm gonna have to get wet. I don't particularly want to get wet, but if I can catch a couple nice fish, it'll be worth it. Alright, this is a pretty cool little spot. This is a pretty cool little spot, actually. Nice and deep. Haven't got any bites so far. Try up against that concrete wall. There we go, fish. Got one. All right, nice little rock bass. Good deal. Boom. On the Ned rig. All right. Let me switch up baits real quick, try a little crankbait, see if I want that. All right, I'm gonna put on the Cotton Cordell crankbait here. Pretty small profile. Hopefully it'll get something to bite. Let's see what the action looks like. Not bad, actually. It's got a decent little action. It's got a nice little minnow-like action. There we go, fish. Largie. Right there. Sweet deal. All right, nice large. Alrighty guys, caught a largemouth. Under the bridge. As you can see right there. Beautiful little fish. About the size you expect for a little creek like this. Awesome. He absolutely hammered this little bait. Surprisingly, this little bait has a really good action in the water. It tracks really nice. It's got a nice flash. And that bass absolutely went ape on it. That is super awesome. Sweet little bait. I think this pool has some depth to it. Already got a fish on. Look at that. Boom. Instant. They like that grub. What do we got? Whoa, that's a good creek chub right there. That is a tank of a creek chub. Just caught this decent sized creek chub right here on the bargain bin grub. This is kind of the smoky, translucent color. Absolutely whaled it. Whew. That's a good fish. Come on out of there. Come on out of there. Oh yeah. Rocky the rock bass. That is actually a fat little rock bass right there. Absolutely smoked the, hold still, cool it brother. Absolutely smoked this little grub. This grub is doing work, man. These fish love it. Sweet. See, buddy? Go, that way, yep. There you go. I gotta be honest guys, this is a pretty cool location. Look at the way the light plays off the ceiling when the sun shines in here. Super gorgeous. You got this really nice pool right here. Fun fact, I drive this road above me all the time, and I always drive by this little pool, and I've always been curious if there's any fish in it. Today I'm finally getting around to fishing it. This pool is actually really good. It's really deep. There's a nice concrete wall right there. Usually when they put in a bridge, they dig it out a little bit, and so usually under bridges you can find a little bit deeper water. Yeah, like I said, nice concrete wall right here. I'm guessing this pool's probably about 3 or 4 foot deep, which is way deeper than anything else in this creek. And for that reason, there is a high concentration of fish. All right, I'm gonna try out this lizard next. Let's see if it works. It might be a little bit too big for this water, but I'm curious to see if it'll draw any strikes. Fishing on a light jig head, which I usually wouldn't do, but in this case, we will oblige. That's another, what is that? Another chunk of a creek chub on a lizard. That's hilarious. Catching creek chugs on a soft plastic lizard. So guys, wrapping up today, what are my thoughts on the lures that I bought from the bargain bin? Are they any good? Well, I gotta say, they all worked really, really well. The Yum Dingers, of course, did great. I put a little piece on a Ned rig, and I caught plenty of fish with that. The grubs did good. I was using that kind of smoky gray translucent color in this really clear water. The fish ate it up. I caught quite a few fish on that. They were hammering that bait. The Rebel crankbait, I did not catch any fish on it, but I threw it around a little bit and it had the same great action that Rebel crankbaits have. It ran straight. I've used that bait in a size bigger before and it works fantastic. Those ribbed Yum grubs also did fantastic. They worked really, really well. Fish loved them and I caught some fish on those. The Yum Lizard actually did really good. I thought it might be a little bit too big for this body of water, but I was able to catch some fish on the Yum Lizard. It worked really well in the water. I rigged it on a really light jig head and just fished it nice and slow through the pool, and that worked fantastic. Now the Strike King Toad, I obviously did not use fishing this small of a creek because there's nothing really in here that would bite that. I did throw it around a little bit though, just to see what the action was like, and the action was impressive. It moved a lot of water, it tracked nice and straight. I also threw the Rebel Popper around a little bit, didn't get any hits on that, but it has a great action in the water as you can see here. Good popping action. I like having a feathered trailer on a popper like this. The bait that really shocked me was the Cotton Cordell minnow thing. that bait did fantastic. It tracks really straight in the water, and it's got a very unique action. It looks just like a little minnow swimming through the water, and I was able to catch a largemouth bass with that bait. I was super surprised, and I'm super happy I bought it. So guys, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more videos like this where I go buy bargain bin fishing lures, take them out, and fish with them, let me know down in the comments below or by giving this video a like. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, check out the links in the description below. You can buy my Signature Series swim baits down there, as well as merch, and there are some Amazon affiliate links down there. If you use them, I get a little bit of kickback, and it helps me to keep making videos. Thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, stay hooked. I'll see you later.